Hello, hello, hello. As I'm audible? As I'm audible? Everyone. Just let me know if I'm audible. ठीक है? Let me know if I'm audible. Audible? Perfectly audible? By CodeBeyond, yes. The channel goes off on 1st of February. Like the channel will be there, but there will be no more classes. The channel will be there, but there will be no more classes. Waiting for everyone to join. No promotion today. I don't have the what to say. I don't have the slides. टीपी शीट आ जाएगा 5-6 दिन में. Where will you teach भैया next? अभी I'll take some break. I'll tell you till people join in, then I'll tell you. Oh. अगली वीडियो डीपी कब आ रही है? लेंगे. हाँ, अनअकैडमी का कोडिंग सब्सक्रिप्शन तो नवंबर से बंद हो गया था. I am waiting for everyone to join. Waiting for everyone to join. 44, yeah, nice. पिंग मा टेलीग्राम ग्रुप. फेनविक्ट्री, आप क्या लेंगे फेनविक्ट्री क्लास? आज कुछ है क्या? कॉन्टेस्ट वगैरह है क्या? या कोड फोर्सेस? I'm not sure what is there today. I have not sure what is there today. कुछ है क्या आज? Okay, let's basically today we will be solving this stuff. So if I go to problems, over here basically this is what we know, monthly challenge. What is monthly challenge? Monthly challenge is basically a problem comes up every day. Like today is the problem gas station, so you can easily solve it. There will be a problem every day, so I'll always recommend you to do monthly challenge, because what happens is the problems are of different genres, right? Someday they might ask you a binary search, someday a DP, someday a graph, something like that. So every day if you do a different topic, so you always stay in touch to the topic. And LeetCode makes sure that in 30 days they always will ask you questions which are related to different genres, so that you stay connected to every topic. That's why I always recommend people to do it. So I have already solved from 1 to 13 in the previous couple of lectures. Today we will be solving from 14 to 20, rather 14 to 21, 14 to 20, and the next one we will be solving 21 to 27. That's what is the next one. ठीक है, सो शुरू करें. सो बेसिकली 14 स्ट्रिंग टू इंटीजर, फिर जंप गेम है. इज इट विजिबल? या जंप गेम है. फिर आपका जो भी है मैक्सिमम डिस्टेंस. सो व्हाट आई हैव डन इज आई हैव रिटन ऑल दीस क्वेश्चंस वी हैड डन द अदर डे. This was also done. So these are today's problem. So I've categorized them as easy, medium, and hard. And we will be going from easy, medium, and then hard. No, you don't need to be a premium member. No matter whichever, like if you have a normal lead code account, you can do all the problems. Okay, you can do all the problems. So going across, this is how all the problems are, like 7 days. There are 7 days, so 7 problems. So 7 problems are placed over here. So let's start with the first problem. Can place flowers. I think this problem was asked over on 18th. Can place flowers was asked on 18th. So this is an easy problem. I'll recommend you to read the problem. Okay, easy but not easy. I did not find it easy. Like I felt the question was good enough to be not tagged easy. That's why I've written easy but not easy. But yeah, still that's my way. So you can ignore that. I wanted to go through this problem and let me know UQ in the comment section. UQ in the comment section if you have understood the question. Okay, UQ in the comment section if you have understood the question. Give me UQ in the comment section if you understood. How to see this calendar sheet? It's very simple. There is this problem now. Click on the problems. The moment you click on the problems, the calendar will open over here. Okay. Just click on the problems. Just click on the problems. The moment you click on the problems, scroll down, there will be a calendar on the right. Okay. Don't copy paste solutions. I'll always recommend, like, if this is the problem, read the problem, think of a possible solution. If you're not getting something, go to the discussion forum. There's a wonderful discussion forum. Go to the most vote solution, and after that probably pick up something like this. Try to read across what they have written. Try to read the entire stuff. They've written it properly, and then probably try to see what they have done. That's generic way to do it. But first, try the problem by yourself. Okay. So give me a UQ if you've understood the question, and then I will probably get started. Give me a UQ. UQ, okay. UQ from everyone. Everyone has understood the question. So what you can do is you can open the same question on a similar tab. Okay. Someday they will ask you an easy, someday they'll ask you a medium, depends. But it will not be a medium every day, it will not be an easy every day, it will not be an hard every day. But yeah, I'll recommend you to do this daily. That's what I'll recommend. ठीक है भाई अरे यार डीपी का डाला तो है 10 वीडियोस आई थिंक 15 दिन में 10 डाले कल 3 डालने का कोशिश करेंगे तो हो जाएगा अरे चलेगा डीपी के वीडियोस टाइम पे आएंगे टेंशन मत लो यार इतना काम रहता है कैसे डाले इतना कुछ I don't do anything per shirt. Shirt नहीं मिला. What will you do of shirt? If you solve these problems, at the end of the day, shirt क्या ज़रूरत है shirt का? तुम तो ऐसे ही हो जाएगा ना बिना शर्ट के ही. मतलब खुद को इतने काबिल बना लो कि 15 शर्ट खरीद लो. लीड कोड से क्या ज़रूरत है कि नहीं? अभी नहीं एग्री लाइक if you do lead code properly, ऐसे जगह जॉब करो कि शर्ट खरीदने टाइम प्राइस टैग देखना ना पड़े. खत्म बात. Thank you, Vikash. Okay, let's get started with the question. I don't say UK from everyone. Okay, let's see the question. So basically, it says you have a long flower bed in which some of the plots are planted and some are not. However, flowers cannot be planted in adjacent plots. So basically, given an integer flower bed containing zeros and ones. So basically saying there's a flower bed given to you which contains 0 and 1s, where 0 means empty, 1 means not empty, means 1 means it has a flower, and an integer n. Return if n new flowers can be planted in the flower bed without violating the no adjacent flowers rule. So basically it states like if you see over here there is 1 0 0, so this is flower, 1 is flower. Can you plant one flower such that they are not violated? I will like, yeah, I will plant one flower over here. So if I plant one flower over here, it will turn to 1 0 1 0 1. So can I say if I make if I do the plantation like this, I can definitely plant one flower and none of the flowers will be adjacent. Remember, you cannot have no adjacent rule. There is a proper rule that you cannot have no adjacent. So we can do it. If you check out the next condition, which is 10001, you try to place couple of flowers. If you try to place couple of flowers, I don't think you can, because you will end up placing them adjacently. So logically you cannot, thereby the answer is false. UQ, everyone, has everyone got this? So you cannot. So how can you solve this problem? Any idea? How can you solve this problem? How can you solve this problem? Any idea? Any idea on how will you solve this problem? So I can say I can do greedily, where I'll say, okay, if I have couple of flowers, I'll try to place a flower. I'll try to place a flower at every place. Okay. So basically, I'll start iterating. First, I'm at this one. Can I place a flower here? Obviously not. Then I'll go to the next 0. Can I place a flower here? Obviously not, because over here, right before there is a 1. So if you place a flower here, there will be adjacent flowers. So you cannot place it. Next, I'll go to the 0 and I'll say, can I place a flower here? Yes, because there is no flower before, there is no flower at the front. So you can place a flower here. Next, I'll go here. Can I place a flower here? No, because you have placed it here. Next, I'll go here. Can I place a flower here? No. So at the end of the day, I can say I was greedily able to place only one flower. No need to do anything. Just linearly iterate and see if at that index you can place a flower or not. And how can you say if at that index? If at the ith minus 1th index there is no flower, if at the ith plus 1th index there is no flower, then what you can do is on the ith index you can always place a flower. So at the end of the day, if you're able to place n equal to 2 flowers, I can say the answer is true, or else the answer is false. How many of you have understood this? Try iterating and placing flowers. Try iterating and placing flowers. Does that make sense to everyone? Has everyone understood this? I get a yes from everyone. Has everyone understood this? US. Okay, Vivek says understood. Anko says understood. Meet says understood. Anko says understood. Okay, perfect. So let's code this up. I think it's super simple. Let's code this up. Super simple है. अपन क्या करेंगे? अपन के पास n है. अपन के पास flower bed है. So what I'll do is I will start with, again, the code quality matters. So what I'll do is I'll say, okay, the size is flower bed dot size, and I'll be like I equal to 0. Okay. I'll tell you. I equal to 0. I lesser than z, I plus plus. You can say that, hey, listen, the flower bed, either the flower bed has to be equal, like this is for sure, it has to be 0 in order to place a flower, and if you're able to place a flower, and just make sure if I is equal to like I minus 1 has to be, like, what can I say, when can I place a flower? If I is equal to 0, like if it's the first place, or like if you can't place a flower, like if you are standing at the first index, there will be no previous index to check. So please make sure you check if it's the first index, because if it's the 0th index, there will be no one on the left. So there's an edge case, and you can say if this is not the case, then I will have to make sure that I check for the flower bed on the I minus 1 is that equal to 0. Correct? Yeah, I have to make sure this I'll check. And apart from that, I will have to check if it's the last index, because if it's the last index, then there will be no one. Yes, there will be no one on the right. Or if it's not the last index, I need to check on the flower bed of I plus 1 is equal to 1. If that's the case, yes, if that's the case, I will reduce the number of flowers to be placed. And if on reducing, yes, if on reducing, after reducing, at any moment I guess something as n equal to 0, which means I was able to place all the flowers. right? So it will return 2. But if this for loop, I can say I'll just do it a proper one, or else in order to have. So in order to, if the for loop is over and you never returned a true, thereby you will return a false, because and you could not place all the flowers, correct? Now if I run the code, should be fine. Boom, it comes out to be true. Now let's try to submit that. Oh, wrong answer. Why is it coming out as wrong answer? Let's check it out. Flower bed, I forgot to make sure that the flower bed is made 1, because if you're placing a flower, just make sure this has to be done, because you've placed a flower. And this is correct. If I is not equal to 0, then only this case will go, because when you write or, if I is equal to 0, it becomes true, and this condition generally is not executed. Okay, this condition will not be executed. So that's it. Okay, cool. Now let's run it. Should be fine now. What's happening? Why is it not taking flower bed I equal to? Just a minute. Am I not doing n minus minus? I am. Okay, I'm saying flower bed is the 0 either. Oh, my bad. My bad. Cool. Should be fine now. Yeah. Typo. My bad. Typo. I made a typo over here. It should have been equal to 0. एच केस कुछ नहीं है. अरे इक्वल टू 0. फिर रॉन्ग. ये क्या चल रहा है? अच्छा, flowers can be 0 as well. They're saying flowers can also be 0. Okay, flowers can also be 0. Fine, let the flower be 0. Cool enough. We'll keep this edge case over here in case the flower is already 0. And I will try to submit this. Let's quickly do this. That works fine now. Understood? So basically there was an edge case key. N was already given as 0. No flowers to place. So if there are no flowers they're asking, then you no need to check it. No need to check. Cool. Everyone has understood this? Yeah, I've written that. Has everyone understood this? Has everyone understood this? Has everyone understood this? Simple है. अपने तरीके से भी कर सकते हो. Why I equal to 0 check? I equal to 0 check because if there is I equal to 0, there will be no left guy. So there is no need to check for left guy. Okay? Like if I is equal to 0, then there will be no left guy. Na? For this I, there will be no left guy. Similarly, if I is the last guy, then for this there will be no right guy. So if it's the last guy, there's no need to check for this. If it's the first guy, there's no need to check for left. Simple as that, right? Yes, everyone. Has everyone understood? Can I get an US from everyone? And have you submitted by yourself, everyone? Repeat क्या करे यार, बच्चा वाला चीज क्या repeat करे इस पे? Everyone understood, right? ए रोहित यार, don't ऐसे free pocket में no मत बोल. I'll do the next question next Friday. Okay. Everyone has understood? Perfect. US. Both, some people have not understood. Please understand this, that if I is equal to 0, like when can you place a flower? If you can place a flower if on the left there is 0, right? So on the left, if there is 0, or it will not have a left. When it will not have a left? If it's just the 0th index, right? If it has a 0th index, it will not have a left. That's it. If it is on the last index, it will not have a right. So thereby is no need to check this. अगर right index last index है तो क्या जरूरत है right को चेक करने का? First index है तो left तो जरूरत ही नहीं है. सिंपल सा बात है, इसलिए मैंने और लिखा है. ठीक है, आ गया सबको? Everyone? So by the way, the channel goes down on 31st of January. The sessions, there will be no more sessions after 31st of January. I'm sure you would have seen at Instagram or Telegram pe. there will be no more sessions from 31st को ही last session होगा. After 31st there will be no more sessions. Okay, the videos, I'm not sure what will happen to videos, but देख लेंगे. But I'll not take any more classes. No one will take any more classes. They are just shutting down the channel. Why are they shutting down the channel? Because they don't have any revenue. Because they don't have any revenue. They don't have any revenue, right? Like Unacademy earns, yeah, confirmed. Because Unacademy earns from subscription models, and there is no subscription models of the coding वाला stuff. From October से कोई subscription नहीं है. तो अगर सब्सक्रिप्शन नहीं है तो रेवेन्यू कहाँ से आएगा? और अगर रेवेन्यू है नहीं आएगा तो हम लोग का पेमेंट कहाँ से आएगा? जावा गाय को कोई बोला नहीं होगा, उसको खुद ही नहीं पता. ठीक है, टेक यू फॉरवर्ड पे लाइव करो यार. I'll do टेक यू फॉरवर्ड पे लाइव on Sundays. I'll solve the, I can't solve so much. I'm not sure about what will happen to Relevel. भाड़ में गया, मुझे फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता, जो होना होने दो. एनीवेज अपन का ये खत्म. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट करते हैं वर्ड पैटर्न. लेट्स डू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन विच इज वर्ड पैटर्न. या TOF पे लाइव करेंगे एवरी संडे. वी विल सॉल्व लीड कोड वीकली कॉन्टेस्ट. ठीक है, द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज दिस. इट्स अ गुड क्वेश्चन. प्लीज रीड दिस and then we will get started. नहीं, कोई भी क्लास नहीं रहेगा. आफ्टर February 1 they will no one will be taking any classes. It will be complete shutdown. I'm not sure what will happen to already uploaded. That's not my property. इसका property है वो समझेगा. I informed you well in advance. Read the question. Anyway, so forget about this. Read the question and let me know. US बता, UK बता देना. क्वेश्चन समझ में आ गया तो ठीक है. सर बट आप पढ़ाओगे ही नहीं यूट्यूब पे तो पेमेंट. अरे हम लोग तो पढ़ाएंगे बट उन लोगों को पेमेंट नहीं देना है तो बंद हो गया चैनल. क्या क्या लॉजिक है ये? क्वेश्चन पढ़ लो, थोड़ा टाइम लो, क्वेश्चन पढ़ लो एंड सजेस्ट मी सम सॉल्यूशंस. हाउ विल यू चेक इट? Suggest me some solutions. How will you check it, guys? Yeah, true enough, true enough. Map. भैया प्लीज मेक वीडियोस ऑन एस टी एल एंड सी प्लस प्लस, कितना बार बनाओ, बन चुका है यार। अभी सर्च कर लो स्ट्राइवर सी प्लस प्लस एस टी एल, गेट इट। हैश मैप, या हैश मैप। आई टेक द सेशन, थोड़ा लंबा होगा शायद तो। या पैटर्न लेंथ कैन बी एनीथिंग, पैटर्न लेंथ कैन बी एनीथिंग, 300 हो सकता है। मैप नहीं आता, अरे मैप क्या नहीं आता, मैप तो बच्चा वाला है। तो हाउ विल यू डू दिस, हाउ विल यू डू दिस, एनी आइडिया, एनी आइडिया हाउ विल यू डू दिस? कोई बता सकता है, कोई आइडिया है किसी को कैसे करेंगे? कोई आइडिया है किसी को कैसे करेंगे? मैप एंड सेट, ओके आई टेल इट कैसे करेंगे, देखो। So let's do one thing. Let's have this first word. So we have a dog. Okay, and let's have this A. So we have dog and we have A. So you can keep couple of maps. One map for this pattern. So let's call this map as P. You can keep one map for the string. For the string. Okay. Now the first time you are at A, and the first time you are at dog, correct? So what you can do is you can be like, okay, dog and A. So you can say pattern, can you say A to be 1 because that's the first character? Can you say dog to be 1 itself? So pattern और dog को मैंने 1 बता दिया, ठीक है। मतलब क्वेश्चन, मैं क्वेश्चन ही नहीं समझा ना, sorry my bad. The question basically says what's the pattern? A double B A, A double B A. Can I say this is something like dog, cat, cat, dog? Similar pattern. A double B A, dog, double cat, dog. Same pattern. A double B A, but dog, cat, cat, fish, dog, cat, cat, fish हो गया। अगर यहाँ cat होता तो पैटर्न सेम होता। 4 A मतलब चारों बराबर होने चाहिए, बट चारों है अलग अलग, लाइक 3 अलग अलग है, dog, cat, cat, dog. Thereby false. The pattern has to be same. Thereby this did not work. Question clear है? Is the question clear to everyone? Is the question clear to everyone? Yes, question is clear to everyone. Please let me know. Please let me know if the question is clear. So कुछ नहीं करना है, कुछ नहीं करना है, अपन को क्या करना है, डॉग को बोल देंगे तू ए है, कैट को भी बोल देंगे तू बी है। अब ये जब कैट आएगा ये वापस बी है, हाँ बी है। ये जब डॉग आएगा क्या है, ये वापस बी है, क्या ये ए है? अगर है तो है, नहीं तो फिर गलत है, सीधा सा बात। You don't have to do anything else. So what I'll do is I will make sure I have couple of maps, right? This is for the string and we can have for pattern, right? So what I can do is first time I have a A and first time I have a D. So probably what I can do is I can say, okay, I'll keep A as 1 and I'll keep dog as 1. Okay, so I've kept A and dog as 1. Next time I have cat, I'll iterate on words, and next time I have B. So can I say, I'll say B to be 2 and I'll say cat to be 2. So I have marked them with same integers, cat to be 2. Okay, next the moment I reach cat, I see cat is already here, cat is marked as 2. This over here is B, B is also marked as 2. So can I say they are following the patterns? Yes. Next I reach dog and I see dog is marked as 1, and over here the last character is A, which is also marked as 1. So thereby can I say they are following the pattern? Yes, they are following the pattern. Similarly, if I do over here, the moment I reach fish, I will see this A is marked as 1, but this fish is not marked as anything. Thereby I can say false. Did you understand the logic? I'll store them, I'll mark them something, and while iterating, if I see we reach something which is not marked as this, then it's a false. Can I say, do you understand? Did you understand this? Did each one of you understand this? Did each one of you understand this? US, simple enough. I'll just go by marking them. Nothing different. Everyone understanding? Everyone. सिंगल मैप से भी कर सकते हो आप, सिंगल मैप से करोगे तो दिक्कत क्या होगा कि आपको पता नहीं चलेगा ए की क्या वैल्यू थी। लाइक आप अगर सिंगल मैप से करोगे तो सिंगल मैप से भी कर सकते हो, स्ट्रिंग स्ट्रिंग कर सकते हो क्या, पता नहीं, ट्राई करते हैं पहले, या ट्राई करते हैं। So basically, not frequencies, basically the second occurrence of that stuff, not frequency. So what I'll do is what you can do is, first of all, though, you can store them, but like if a string is given like this, there is something like input stream in C++ STL that can easily split them. In Java, you can just do dot split and it will split them, or you can use something like strings. Like there is something like iString stream है, अगर आप उसको यूज करते हो तो पूरा split हो जाता है, but I'm assuming you don't know C++ या फिर something like this. So we will keep something like vec, and we can definitely keep string str, and we can just iterate on this. And we can be like, okay, let's do str plus equal to string of I, and at any moment, what we can do is, if string of I is equal to space, then I can say vec to please store this particular string, which is str, and just make sure it's again empty, or else just keep on, or else you can just keep on adding them. Just don't do anything, just keep on adding them. That's what you can definitely do. And just to make sure, there is a what I've done is I've added a character at the back, and you can say str plus equal to s of I. So what I did was I kept adding, and whenever I reached a space, I stored it. So what will happen is, first dog will come out and it will get stored in the vector. Next cat will come out, stored in the vector. Next cat will come out, stored in a vector. Next dog will come. So all of the strings are eventually stored in a vector so that you can easily access them. So I've added an empty space for the last one, so that whenever the last dog comes, there is a space and this occurs, and you can easily store in the vector. Clear one? So no need of STL. Like if you don't know STL, you can do it this way. So what I've done is I've stored it, right? Now what's the next thing? Probably what I can do is string of integer, mpp1 and mpp2. Okay, so probably you can say mpp pattern, mpp string. Okay, mpp pattern, mp string. Yeah, that's perfect. mpp pattern. तो ये वाला चीज हो गया. नेक्स्ट अपन क्या कर सकते हैं, अपन I equal to 0, and what we can do is int sz equal to vec dot size. भैया आप एक्टिव नहीं, हैवी थोड़ा डल लग रहा है. हाँ डल और क्या, when you know that you'll no more be teaching live, so it is something which hurts, right? Because you've been doing this from the last 6 months. That's it. Like if you see the 37,000 subscribers, it takes a lot of effort to build this. That's it. It takes a lot of effort to build this, and suddenly if you are basically saying it's not going to be there, it is something which is going to hurt anyone. That's it. Nothing like कि ऐसा भी कुछ नहीं है, but ठीक है. MPP of find, I can say if MPP of find of I, like you're storing an integer, right? So MPP of find of vec of I, if that's not equal to MPP of find, not find exactly, I can say MPP of vec of I, if that's not equal to MPP MPS pattern of I. So this is string pattern ना, तो pattern को अपन ठीक है इसको MPP I रख देते हैं, इसको map of, अच्छा pattern में character रख देते हैं, character रहेगा, and इस पे अपन ठीक है we can say mp map of string of integer and mpp s कर देते इसको. हाँ ठीक है. So map of pattern of vec of I, not a pattern of string पे देखो, और ये mpp pattern पे देखो. अगर pattern का I बराबर है ही तो फिर नहीं है तो फिर रिटर्न फॉल्स कर दो, राइट? अगर बराबर नहीं है तो अपन कुछ मत करो, mpp of vec of I पे equal to mpp of pattern. Do I need to store I plus 1? That's a good question. Do I need to store I plus 1? Can you tell me, do I need to store I plus 1? That's a good question. Like, do you need to store I plus 1? Because see, what happens is, if they're not equal, then you're returning false. And if they're not equal, like, what are the cases? What are the cases? Now, I can say the cases can be in a lot of other ways, right? In a lot of other ways. Basically, MPP of pattern of, अगर मैं I करके इसको कुछ I plus 1 है, I कुछ भी डाल दो तो भी चल जाएगा. And at the end of the day, I can say return a true. I think should work. I plus plus जाएगा, हाँ, मतलब बार बार इनिशियलाइज हो जाएगा. ठीक है, क्या फर्क पड़ता है. 1 2 3 पैटर्न, हाँ पैटर्न मेंटेन करेगा, सही है. Should be fine. No, it's confirmed. The news of the channel shutting down is confirmed. I am confirming it. So yeah, that's a wrong journey. Why? Input is jQuery. I forgot to do one thing. If by chance at the end of the day, if the number of strings, if the number of strings is not equal to pattern dot size, then also it's not possible because the pattern has to maintain. So you can just return a false. Yeah, it has to be equal. It has to be equal. Basically, this length has to be equal. Like we have 4, so there has to be 4 strings. So yeah, that's a case that you have to make sure. Yeah, works fine. Does everyone understood this? Quite simple. I just mapped it to some just to make sure if they have existed. अगर बराबर नहीं है तो पंगा है. Either वो marked नहीं होगा, and if it's not marked, both of them will say null and null. So has everyone understood this? Has everyone understood this? Has everyone understood this? एक मैप यूज करके हो सकता है, हो सकता है. Let me give it a try. हो तो जाना चाहिए. If I say मैं string पे कैरेक्टर पुश कर देता हूँ, if I say, तो कर लेना, मतलब हो तो सकता है, सोचना पड़ेगा, क्या सोचना पड़ेगा, because it's saying pattern, right? So it might fail because the pattern has to be there. Why am I saying it will fail is it might fail because let me think of a case where it will fail. No, you can do I as well. Like, you can also mark it as I. That's okay. That will also work. You can mark it as IL. I एक number mark कर रहा हूँ. That's it. Now I'm thinking. There's a case it might fail. I'm just thinking of a case where it might fail. Just give me a minute. Okay. Where will it fail? Let me think of a case where it can fail. Let me think of a case. If I use a single map, will it fail? Because I'm saying if it's the third time occurring, like for an example, if I'm saying this cat is occurring for the second time, that's why I'm marking it as I. If I'm saying it's occurring for the second time, this B has to occur for second time. Otherwise, it's a failure. No, we actually have to count it. The reason is we have to count how many times it occurs. तो प्रॉब्लम वहां हो जाएंगे, क्योंकि अगर अपन 2 कैरेक्टर्स सेम मैप हो जाएगा तो दिक्कत हो जाएगा. तो इसलिए बहुत जरूरी है काउंट रखना, क्योंकि अगर मैं बोल रहा हूँ ये सेकंड टाइम बी ऑकर करता है तो सेकंड टाइम कैट ऑकर करना चाहिए. इसीलिए हम यहाँ पे काउंट अपडेट कर रहे हैं. I+1 फर्स्ट टाइम, सेकंड टाइम कर रहा था मैं. गॉट इट. बैन केएल वी वांट कोहली बैक. इंडियन टीम का तो पॉलिटिक्स ने पूरा खत्म कर दिया यार, कितना गंदा हार रहा है। कोई नहीं, सह लेंगे। I did not find interest in watching match. I missed Kohli's energy. Not sure if you did or not. Uh, okay, understood. Has everyone understood this? US? US from everyone? US from everyone? Quite simple, just make sure you keep a count of how many times it's occurring, and if the number of occurrences is same, it's fine, otherwise not. Simple as that. Cool, so that's why I said easy but not easy, because it had at least something. It had at least something, so that's why I said easy, not easy. Anyways, let's do this medium now. Ready to read the question? Ready to read the question now? Please read this question. Please read the question, and we will get started. Give me a US if you've understood this. Give me a US if you've understood this. आराम से, मैं तो आज ऐसे कोई हड़बड़ी में भी नहीं हूँ, आराम से स्ट्रीम करूंगा. Same question was in last one challenge. Was it? No, I did not find the same question. स्ट्रिंग टू इंटीजर ना करो, टाइम वेस्ट है बिल्कुल. वो तो इजी है यार, बच्चा वाला है.
से पता चला है कि बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ अभियान इसकी सफलता से
Linear search. Okay. Okay. भगवान करे आप गूगल छोड़ दे. अरे एडटेक स्टार्टअप क्यों करना है भाई? करना होता अभी तक नहीं कर लिए होते यार. आई गेट ऑफर्स फ्रॉम बिग बिग एडटेक स्टार्टअप्स टू जॉइन देम, बट नहीं करना यार. बड़े बड़े स्टार्टअप्स देते हैं यार 3x 2x सैलरी ऑफर करते हैं, देन व्हाट गूगल ऑफर्स. बट basically see, you can't teach every day, because for you these problems might be new, but for me it's something which I've been doing from the last 4 years. So it is problem solving, but it is not something which I will love to do for my life. So that's why no ed tech startup. Yeah, whenever I feel like teaching, I'll open a batch. Whenever I feel like taking a boot camp, I'll open my boot camp. पढ़ना है पढ़ लेना. But apart from that, no ed tech startup. I'll do development where I solve real life problems. That is something which interests me. ठीक है, फॉरवर्ड पे करेंगे. चलो करते हैं. आप लोग आओगे देखने तो पक्का करेंगे. मेहनत है ना, पूरा ऑडियंस लाइव स्ट्रीम का इस पे इकट्ठा किया, फिर टेक यू फॉरवर्ड पे सबको भेजो, देखो लाइव स्ट्रीम हमारा. It's very tough because people know that at CodeBeyond the live streams go on, and suddenly you stop. Okay, let's understand the question. We will do it from, let me see the calendar. 31st को मंडे है. हाँ तो मतलब 30 को जो होगा वो इधर ही कर लेंगे क्योंकि पैसे मिल जाएंगे अपन को। जो नेक्स्ट मंथ का होगा 30 के बाद जिस संडे से लीड कोड वीकली होगा, वी विल डू दैट ऑन टेकी फॉरवर्ड, ठीक है। We will do after 30 whichever lead code is there, we will do you, ठीक है। let's do this question and देखते हैं कैसे होगा ये क्वेश्चन, पढ़ लो। So the question states maximize distance to our closest person, ठीक है। जल्दी करो, कल सुबह पनवेल निकलना है। Okay, so I given an array representing a row of seats where रुको यार, don't spam। अरे क्या कर रहा है भाई, स्लो बकने दो, अच्छा है बकने दो तो बकना। You're given an array representing a rows of seats where seats of I equal to 1 represents a person sitting in the ith seat, and seats of I equal to 0 represents the ith seat is empty. There is at least one empty seat, that's for sure. There is going to be at least one empty seat. Alex wants to sit in the seat such that the distance between him and the closest person to him is maximized. Okay, so basically if I say Alex will sit over here, then the distance from here to here I think is a couple of places, and the distance from here to here is also a couple of places. So the closest is 2 among them. Now if you say Alex will sit here, then the distance from here to here is 1, the distance from here to here is 3, so the closest is 1, but they want to maximize this closest distance. So logically if I make Alex sit over here, that will be the best case, don't you think? Logically, if I make Alex sit over there, because if I make Alex sit over here, the distance that I get is 1 and 1 on both the sides. So what do you think? What's the solution to this? What's the solution to this? If I know where's the left guy, where's the right guy, and for every index I can find this. What do you think? What's the answer? What do you think? What's the answer? Okay, someone says maximum number of zeros. Maximum number of zeros by 2. Again, makes sense. Kind of that. Okay, can I say if I by somehow maintain the last one, wherever the last one was, if by somehow I maintain where the last one was and the current one, if I'm standing at a current 1, can I say the best way to place Alex will be in the middle of the last one and the current one? That's the best place you can do. Do you agree with me? Like if I am iterating and if I know I am getting a 1 over here and I know that the last one was at this particular index, let's assume this to be index I and this to be index j, can I say in between of I and j is the best place where you can place them? Can I say this? Because if you place them in between, then you're making sure that the distance. And if I do this for every particular guy, like for an example, over here I was here, so there was no one at the back, so you cannot place it. Then you came over here, again it's a 0, no need to place, it's a 0, no need to place, it's a 0, no need to place, it's a 1. So you know the last one was here, so you know in between this and this is where you can place it. In between the last one and this one is where you can place it. Do you agree? And if I say the index, it is 0 index, it is 1 2 3 4 index. So can I say the distance will be nothing but 4 minus 0, because that's the distance between them, divided by 2, because you're placing them in mid, thereby making the distance as 2. Do you agree? If there's no need to do binary search, if I can just maintain a counter which tells me that, hey striver, This is the last place where it was placed. I think makes sense. Makes sense. Do you agree? What are the edge cases that I think of? I can think of an edge case where I say, what happens if there's 0, 0, 0, 0, and there's suddenly a 1. In this case, the best where the Alex can sit is here, because then it's not the middle. So because this is the best place where Alex can sit, correct? So how do you handle such cases where I say that, hey, listen, there is a 1 over here, but before that there's a 0, or probably some cases like this where this is 0. So probably Alex can also go over here, which is the last place. It's not the middle. These are edge cases. How do you handle them? Any idea? How do you handle them? Do you have any idea on how will you handle them? Did you understand the edge cases? I'm asking you a very straightforward question. Did you understand the edge cases where you're not placing Alex in between someone? You're saying Alex to go and take a place where it's probably someone's middle. Can I say this? Can I say this? Can I say this? This is an edge case that you have to think of again, right? So can I say, one of the best things that I can know, there's no need to do this, because if you're placing, so can I say, if I'm getting like 0, 0, 0, 0, probably I can keep the last guy as -1. Probably I can keep the last guy as -1. And the first time I get a 1, I don't do, and if the last is -1, I don't do a minus and divide by 2. Instead, I take the entire distance. Make sense? Because Alex will prefer the first position. If the last is -1, I'll take the entire distance. If the last is not -1, then I do a subtraction and do a division by 2. And in the same way, when I go on placing, again the last, whenever I get the last, correct, and there's 0, there's 0, there's 0, there's 0. In the end of the day, I'll also take this distance. And the maximum of the first guy, the maximum of the last guy, and the maximum of placing in all the middles, I can do this. Do you agree? Do you agree with it? These are the edge cases. Does everyone agree with the edge cases? I need a yes from you if you understand the edge cases. I need a yes from you, and if you understand the edge cases. Can you tell me if you have understood the edge cases, guys? Please, everyone. So can I be like, okay, fine, Trevor, let's do one thing. Let's keep the last as -1. So like, okay, let's keep the maximum distance as 0. Make sense? So what I'm saying is, let's iterate from I equal to 0 till probably I lesser than seeds.size. But I can do I plus. Can I say this? If the seeds of I is equal to 1, then I need to place Alex. I can place Alex. Make sense? I can place Alex. Now, how can I place Alex? I know one thing. If the last is -1, like that means the last has yet not been updated. That means we have not seen any zeros. We have not seen any ones before. Thereby, can I say the maximum will be max of maximum comma the I, because if this is the first one, if this is the first one that I'm encountering, then Alex will prefer the first seat. Thereby, the distance will be the entire I. Do you agree? Right? But if it is not, then maximum will be max of maxi comma I minus whatever the last is divided by 2, because that's going to be the distance. Because I've seen if there is a 1 and there's a 1, then this guy difference by 2. Correct? So that's what I've done. If it's the first guy, simply take it. If it's this, then this will be the case. Right? But assume there are cases like this. So over here, this one and this one will consider placing Alex here, and it can also consider placing Alex here. So once you have done the entire iteration, Can I say the last will be here? So make sure at the end of the for loop, figure this distance up. Figure this distance up. Otherwise, there will be a problem. Figure this distance out, guys. Okay. So can I say I can always update last to be I, because once I have updated the maximum, I can always, yes, I repeat, I can always update I. Make sense? So right at the end of the day, I can say maximum will be max of maximum if I got the last guy. So I can say the last index is n minus 1, and if I'm placing it, it'll be minus of last. So that's why you can place the last guy. This is for placing Alex at the last index, and right at the end of the day, whichever is the answer, you can return it. Make sense, everyone? Has everyone understood this? Has everyone understood this? Can I get a yes from everyone if everyone has understood this? Quite simple on the day. Has everyone understood this? यार अंकुश कितना स्पैम करता है भाई? Has everyone understood this? No matching function call tool. Okay, fine, works. Let's submit this. Okay, Dipanshu, just think, what if the last position does not contains a zero? Then don't you think this, if the last position is 1 itself, right? If you're getting something like 100 and the last position is 1 itself, so the last will be pointing to this, and whenever you subtract n minus 1 minus last, this will come out to be 0, so you cannot place it. So got it, Dipanshu? Got it, Dipanshu? Got this, Dipanshu? If you trick, yeah, you can track contiguous zeros as well. But if you track contiguous zeros, you are not sure whether to place in the middle or place in the front, right? Has everyone got this? Has everyone got this? I did not do anything. What I did was, if it's the first one, yes, if it's the first one, I made sure I can place Alex right at the 0th index. Place Alex at the right at the 0th index, then the distance will be this. If it's not, then I just made sure I keep a track of the last one and the current one, and I subtract the difference by 2. And after this for loop is completed, I made sure, can I place the Alex at the last? So if I place Alex at the last index is n minus 1 and the last one is at last, so it's subtracted. So everyone has got this. Can I get a US from everyone? Can I get an US from everyone? US from everyone? US basically means understood. US means understood. नहीं बूझा तो घर जाने का, नहीं बूझा तो घर जाने का, सबको आगे. What is the extension name? I use the app Presentify. There's an app which is known as there's an app which is known as Presentify. Yeah, this app Presentify. Like it's in MacBook. If you buy it, you will get this for 600 rupees on App Store, and you can use it. Nothing, no extension. Presentify. ठीक है. चलो आज मैं लाइक करने भी स्ट्रीम को नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, व्यूज आए नहीं आए फर्क नहीं पड़ता तो मुझे उतना, इसलिए मैं लाइक करने भी नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. Okay, everyone has understood. Okay, cool. So we have understood the next question, which is maximum distance closures. Okay, let's do the next one, which is linked list cycle. And then this question is already there in the Take It Forward SD sheet. मेरा नया कोर्स Unacademy पे मैं नहीं पढ़ाऊंगा. They have closed everything. They don't have any CP subscription. So where will I teach? I'll not teach anyway. Let's see. अभी तो मैं पोलैंड जाऊंगा फरवरी एंड में. सो व्लॉग्स बनाऊंगा, घूमूंगा सैटरडे संडे घूमूंगा या पढ़ाऊंगा. घूमना है, राइट? सो एक बार घूम फूम लो, फिर देखते हैं, फिर शायद बैचेस शुरू करें, बट अभी कोई प्लान नहीं है. There's no plan for batches as of now. Presently, going forward, February, I will just stream Sundays, and all the other days I'll make sure I make videos for Take It Forward. I have 6 month subscription. पकड़ो उन्हें, बोलो अभी बैचेस शुरू नहीं हो रहे, पैसे दो मेरे. फिर भी 120 likes, that's amazing. Thank you. गर्लफ्रेंड को लेके जाओगे क्या? हाँ, तुमको भी ले चलेंगे, चलो. मीटअप कब करोगे? मीटअप क्या करना है? क्योंकि कोविड में अगर मैं मीटअप करने गया तो मुझे ऑथोरिटी पकड़ के पीटेगी. अरे मत जाओ क्या? I think fees was high. That's why Chalani. I also felt fees was very high. I told them the fees is very high. Basically, in coding, no one will take subscription. In coding, people tend to pay for people. मैं पढ़ा रहा हूँ तो मेरे बैच के लिए लोग पे करना चाहेंगे, ना कि पूरा सब्सक्रिप्शन के लिए. दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच आई आल्सो फेल्ट, बिकॉज अगर आपको पढ़ना है तो आप मेरे को पे करोगे, राइट? आप क्यों एक सब्सक्रिप्शन मॉडल में पे करोगे जहाँ पे आपको दूसरे बंदों का भी पे करना है, which is not done, right? I think in coding, in India, in coding, boot camps will run in future. You will see people coming out with boot camps in numbers, जहाँ पे वो 3 महीने 4 महीने में पूरा पढ़ाएंगे, and that's going to be the trend. And the prices I think will be in the range 4,000 to 6,000 for a 3 months boot camp. That's what is going to be the trend going forward. Courses, recorded courses उतने नहीं चलेंगे फ्यूचर में, क्योंकि recorded courses आपको मोटिवेशन नहीं देते 3 महीने में खत्म करना, बहुत बोर हो जाते हो. लाइव में क्या होता है, जब पता है लाइव हो रहा है तो आपको लगता है हाँ चलो देख ही लेता हूँ क्या हो जाएगा, एंड उसके चलते पढ़ भी लेते हो. तो रिकॉर्डेड कोर्सेज में हाँ कर लूंगा वाला स्टेज होता है, एंड फिर आप पढ़ते नहीं हो. ऐसे कि आपको पता है 10 बजे क्लास करना है तो आप कर लेते हो, राइट? अरे मैं कहीं जा नहीं रहा हूँ भाई, मैं अपने चैनल पे स्ट्रीम करूंगा, आ जाना. How to hide difficulty in I think they should make some extension which hides difficulty. I also face. Okay, read the question. We're gonna do this. This is an SD sheet. Okay, how do you detect cycles? Slow, fast pointers. Right? Remember the question? If you basically run slow, fast. So by the way, let's read the question. If there is no cycle, return null. So it states, given the head of the linked list, return the node where the cycle begins. How do you check linked list पे cycle? तो जिनको पता नहीं है ये क्वेश्चन SD शीट में है तो आप चेकआउट कर सकते हो. आई विल नॉट गिव द प्रूफ ऑफ ओवर हियर. The proof of the algorithm is there in the video of SD sheet. I'll just solve it. टॉर्टोइज लगा दो. सबको पता है ये SD sheet जिसने किया सबको पता होगा. अब तो मुझे लगता है इंटरव्यू पूछता भी नहीं है, वो बोलता है भाई ये क्वेश्चन तो सब पढ़ के आएंगे. तो इट्स बेसिकली very simple. What you do is I'll give you a, if this is somewhere the linked list. So what you do is you basically keep a slow and keep a fast. Move slow 1, move fast 2. Move slow 1, move fast 2. Move slow 1, move fast by 2. Move slow 1, move fast by 2. Move slow 1, move fast by 2. So the moment the fast and slow reaches at the same point, you can say a cycle exists. So if slow and fast tend to collide, a cycle does exist. And if it did not have a cycle, then what would have happened was slow was there, fast was there. You would have moved slow, you would have moved fast, but there would have been a moment where this fast would have gone to null because it पूरा घूमेगा थोड़ी, वो null पे चला जाता. So if the fast pointer reaches null, then you can be like there is no cycle. And if it does have a cycle, this is the moment where the cycle was detected, right? You can be like, okay, this is the point where cycle was detected. So let's keep a pointer here and let's call it, let's say R1, and let's keep R2 pointer at the starting and move them simultaneously by one place. So R2 moves by simultaneously one place. R1 moves simultaneously one place. move R2 simultaneously one place, move R1 simultaneously one place. So the point where they meet will be the starting point of the cycle, प्रूफ मेरे वीडियो में देख लेना, पूरा मैथमेटिकल प्रूफ है इसका, साइकिल का लेंथ लेंगे सब कुछ. आई डोंट रिमेंबर द एग्जैक्ट प्रूफ, तो मैं अभी बोलूंगा भी नहीं, बट देख लेना. वो साइकिल का लेंथ लेते हैं, n इंटू सी करते हैं, स्लो इक्वल टू ट्वाइस ऑफ फास्ट करते हैं, देख लेना, ठीक है. सो after MSD, the second you like the most, I love MSD absolutely. So very simple, very simple. So as everyone understood the algo, move slow and fast by a couple of places, and if there's a cycle you'll get it, and if there is no cycle you will not get it. If you don't get it, you know what to do. So has everyone understood this? सुंदर पिचाई से मिलना. हाँ, मेरे बापूजी लगते हैं, बोलेंगे यार ड्राइवर भैया आपके लिए गेट खोलते हैं, मिलते हैं आपसे. गेट खोलता हूँ, आओ ड्राइवर, बैठो बैठो, आपके इतने सब्सक्राइबर्स है, आपसे मिलेंगे, आप गूगल को प्रमोट करो. क्लियर नहीं? यूएस लिख दो, फटाफट कोड कर लेते हैं. यूएस लिख दो. सो बेसिकली अपन को क्या करना है, लेट्स नोड स्टार ऑफ स्लो इक्वल टू हेड, ठीक है. लेट्स नोड स्टार ऑफ फास्ट इक्वल टू हेड. ओके, सो बाय द वे टैब साइड में खोल के आप कोड कर सकते हो. प्लीज टैब खोल के कोड कर लो. सो जस्ट मेक श्योर व्हाइल द फास्ट इज नॉट इक्वल टू नल एंड द फास्ट next is not equal to null. That is something which you have to do, and just make sure that slow is moved by like fast का next भी null हो सकता है ना, तो मिल जाएगा. अगर मैं next null रखूँ तो मिल जाएगा. हाँ, मतलब slow equal to slow of next, fast equal to fast of next should be fine. fast का null रखूंगा तो हो जाएगा, तो next रखूँ. अच्छा नहीं, यहाँ फास्ट का नेक्स्ट रखना होगा. क्यों पता है? assume I'll give you why you have to write fast next, because assume you are standing at the last point. Okay, assume it's a linear guy. Okay, it's this much. So first you move slow and fast way here. For the first step you moved slow here, for the next step you moved fast here. So assume fast is here, and then you again went inside the for loop, and you said fast equal to fast next ka next, but the next is null, but null's next, it will give you a runtime error. That's very important to check if the fast next is not null. If it's the last node, you cannot detect a cycle, because fast next kar rahe. So very important that you check fast next is not null and fast next is not null. Very important to check. Okay, that's what you will always check. And right after this, what you can say is if slow is equal to fast, just make sure, because you know the slow and fast pointer will be standing at the same place. So probably you can say list node star. I said R1 will be the head, which is head. I said list node star R2 will be the slow pointer. So keep moving them till they are not equal, because they are going to meet for sure. Keep moving them till they are not equal. R1 equal to R1 dot next. R2 equal to R2 dot next, and they will meet, and the moment they meet you can simply return R1, and at the end of the day, if the while loop is over, you can return a null saying मिला नहीं ये लोग मिले नहीं. समझ में आया? Okay, tail connects the next. So just try to submit this off. रन टाइम एरर क्यों आ गया भाई? किस खुशी में आया रन टाइम एरर? क्यों आया? ओ बापूजी क्यों आया रन टाइम एरर? ओहो यार, आज का दिन सही नहीं है. Yeah, there will be a case where they give नल्ला दे देंगे तो भी हो जाएगा. चलो हो गया. बढ़िया, समझ में आ गया सबको? आ गया समझ में? हाँ 0-1 ठीक है, कर लिया, हटाओ. हो गया सबको समझ में? Yeah, there's no need to check for head of next. There's no need to check for it. You can just give the head equal to null. That will work, because even if basically you need to understand, even if there are two nodes, basically head जो point बोल रहा है, even if there are two nodes, it won't matter, because अगर दो nodes है तो साइकिल कभी बन नहीं सकता, एंड फास्ट नेक्स्ट नेक्स्ट नल दिखाएगा। अगर फास्ट इधर खड़ा है, इसका नेक्स्ट और नेक्स्ट नल दिखाएगा, तो ये वाइल लूप चलेगा ही नहीं। अगर ये वाइल लूप नहीं चलेगा तो ये रिटर्न नल ऑटोमेटिक हो जाएगा। तो सिर्फ हेड इक्वल टू नल लिखने से चल जाता है, ऐसा समझे। मतलब अगर दो नोड का है तो आपको सिर्फ हेड चेक करना है, आपको उसके बाद चेक नहीं करना है। क्लियर? इफ यू वांट द प्रूफ व्हाई इट मीट्स, ठीक है, यू कैन डेफिनेटली check out the Take It Forwards channel. I've given an entire proof over there using the mathematical formula. A lot of people will teach you this, but proof कोई नहीं पढ़ाता, तो उधर proof देख लेना एक बार, क्यों मीट करता है। लाइक रीजन क्या है कि जहां ये मीट कर रहे हैं स्लो एंड फास्ट पॉइंटर, उधर से अगर मैं फिर इसको चलाना शुरू कर दूं, लाइक ये वाला जो चीज है चलाना शुरू कर दूं, तो दोनों एक एक साइमल्टेनियस पे मीट क्यों करते हैं, इसका प्रूफ देख लेना, ठीक है। Okay, so please watch that proof. So we're done with this. We're done for problems. Nice. Let's do the cocoa eating bananas. ये problem बहुत भाई याद है, shitty problem. Let's do cocoa eating bananas. या proof पूछ देते हैं इंटरव्यू में, तो proof देख लेना। कितना बजा है? एक घंटा 11 मिनट ही हुआ है। Okay, let's see the question and then we will get started. See the proof. Ah, this is binary search. Standard binary search. नाम ही बेकार है इस क्वेश्चन का, कोको ईटिंग बनानास। आई थिंक द क्वेश्चन इज इजी। It's a standard binary search question. So if you know binary search, I think you should be able to do this. Standard binary search. This one was pretty. This is not. I think it's an easy question for me. If this question comes up to me, I'll do this in 90 seconds. Yeah. You can have the timer. I'll code this in 90 seconds. भाई अच्छा पढ़ाते हो, एक YouTube चैनल खोल लो आप। समन प्लीज से आकाश। हाय आकाश। हाँ, आइडिया अच्छा है, YouTube चैनल अपने को खोलना चाहिए। मेरा YouTube चैनल होना चाहिए। How to identify if a question can be solved? Generally, whenever the question states minimum and maximum, you can apply. Generally, whenever the question says, "Well, अरे यार डीपी वीडियो डाल देंगे." अभी एक चीज़ बताओ, एक बंदा अभी सुबह से लेके 9 घंटा उसने ऑफिस किया, ठीक है, फॉर एन एग्जाम्पल। उसने अभी आके आपको 2 घंटा पढ़ाया। आपको क्या लगता है ये जो 5 सवाल है, ये क्या मैं आके आपको ऐसे ही सॉल्व कर रहा हूँ? ऑब्वियसली इससे पहले मैंने 1 घंटा इस सारे सवाल को एक बार देखा होगा, तो 1 घंटा मैंने देखा, फिर मैं आपको 2 घंटा सारे सवाल पढ़ाया, 3 घंटा, 9 + 3 12 घंटा। 24 घंटे में एक बंदा 12 घंटा काम करने के बाद अब तुम बोल रहे हो कल डीपी के वीडियोस डाल देना। सो दैट मीन्स बंदा फिर जाएगा, अभी 1 घंटे रिकॉर्ड करेगा, एडिट करेगा, फिर डालेगा, और 2-3 घंटे, 15 घंटे 24 घंटे में काम करना। समझ रहे हो? पागल हो जाएगा कोई, थोड़ा समझो। Why did you say binary search? Because it's a pattern. It's a pattern question. These questions are. So remember these kind of questions. Okay, remember these kind of questions can always be solved using binary search. Always. You feel कि मतलब तुम्हें मैं अभी फील नहीं होने देता कि मैं वैसे काम करता हूँ, जैसे तुम लोगों को लगता है यूट्यूब वीडियोस क्यों नहीं डालते, बट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड यार। आप जब ऑफिस जाओगे तब आपको समझ में आएगा, वो ऑफिस जब खत्म होता है ना, उसके बाद आपको मन नहीं करता वीडियोस बनाने का, तो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड, ठीक है। सो लेट्स रिमेंबर व्हेनेवर the question says minimum, return the minimum. This gives you a big idea that the question is binary search. Remember this. Whenever the question comes up and says minimum nikalo, maximum nikalo, शायद binary search लग सकता है, शायद. It's a very high probability that binary search can be. Okay. So, what is the question stating? The question is stating hours are given. Okay. You need to choose some hour. You need to choose some hour such that these piles are given to you. These piles are given to you. So if I choose 4 piles, so per hour, in 1 hour, I can eat 4 bananas. That's the question. In 1 hour, I can eat 4 bananas is what the output is saying. So if I select 4 bananas per hour, how many time will I take to eat 3 bananas, which is on the first? I'll take 1 hour. Remember, in 1 hour, I take 4 bananas. So 3 bananas का ऐसा नहीं कि 40 मिनट लगेगा. I'll have to take 1 hour completely. This is 6 bananas. So 6 bananas doesn't mean कि 1.5 hour लगेगा. It will take 2 hours. You have to round off the hours taken. 7 bananas will take how many hours? Again, round off 2 hours. 11 bananas will take how many hours? How many hours will 11 bananas take? 11 by 4, 3 hours. So in total, 3 plus 2, 5 plus 2, 7 plus 8. So you ended up taking 8 hours. So if you take 8 hours, it has been said that you can at maximum take 8 hours. So if you're taking 8 hours by having 4 bananas per hour, it's fine. So the answer is 4. Now what if I take 1 hour 3 bananas? Let's see how many hours will I consume. So if I take 1 hour 3 bananas, I see this takes me 1 hour, this takes me 2 hour, this takes me 3 hour, this takes me 4 hour. So in total this takes me 10 hours, but the hour allocated was 8. So I cannot eat 3 bananas. I cannot eat 3 bananas. So if I cannot eat 3 bananas in 1 hour, can I eat 2 bananas? Can I eat 2 bananas, guys? Can I eat 2 bananas is my question to you. Obviously not. 2 banana 1 घंटे में खाएगा तो ज्यादा घंटे लगेंगे. 1 बनाना 1 घंटे में खाएंगे तो मोर ज्यादा घंटे लगेंगे. 4 बनाना खाऊंगा तो 8 घंटे में हो गया. 5 बनाना खाया तो और कम में होगा. लेट्स सी 5 बनाना खाऊंगा तो कितने में लगेगा. If I say I'll eat 5 bananas, this will take me 1 hour, this will take me 2 hours, this will take me 3 hours, this will take me 3 hours. Again 8 hours. So 5 banana is also possible. So if I increase this bananas per hour, hours will tend to what will happen to hours taken? Hours will tend to reduce. Hours will tend to reduce. If I make it 6 bananas, hours will reduce. If I make it 7 bananas, hour will reduce. If I make it 8 bananas, hour will reduce. So whenever you see such a stuff happening, that's when you think, okay, I can apply binary search. I can apply binary search. Got it? Is that clear to everyone? Does that make sense to everyone? Does that make sense to everyone? Does that? 2 hours later. Sorry, my bad. Well done, Karthik. So whenever you see such a trade-off that hours बढ़ाने से bananas बढ़ाने से, तो मुझे पता है कि एक रेंज है. शायद मैं 1 बनाना खा सकता हूँ, 2 बनाना खा सकता हूँ, 3 बनाना खा सकता हूँ, 4 खा सकता हूँ, 5 खा सकता हूँ. एट मैक्सिमम कितना खाऊंगा? 11 बनाना ही एट मैक्सिमम खाना चाहिए, क्योंकि उतने ही there is at max 11 bananas in one pile. So at max I should eat 11 bananas. Kela chalo. At max I should eat 11 bananas, not 12, because if I eat 12 it will not make sense. Can I say the minimum that I will eat is 1? The maximum that I will eat is 11. So either this is the range. Can I say this is the range where the answer will lie? Can I say this is the range where the answer will lie? Do you agree? Do you agree? This is the range where the answer will lie. So if this is the range where the answer will lie, I can say this is low. I can say this is high. Correct? So this is why I can apply binary search. And I will now find a middle. So initially the middle comes out to be, what is the middle? 1 plus 11 is 12, by 2 is 6. middle comes out to be 6. So if the middle comes out to be 6, you can just scroll through this, divide by 6 1 hour, divide by 6 1 hour, divide by 6 2 hour, divide by 6 2 hour. So in total 6 hours taken, which is lesser than 8 hours. So I can say by taking 6 bananas per hour, by taking 6 bananas per hour, I have easily done my job under 8 hours. If I have easily done my job under 8 hours, so 6 banana can be a possible answer. 6 banana can be a possible answer. But what did the question state? The question stated रिटर्न द मिनिमम इंटीजर, इंटीजर को छोटा करने का रे बाबा. सो अब मैं अगर राइट में जाके सर्च करेगा रे, इफ आई सर्च ऑन द राइट, बनानास विल इंक्रीज, बट द क्वेश्चन स्टेटेड बनाना कम करने का. सो वेयर विल द सर्च स्पेस बी? द सर्च स्पेस विल बी बिटवीन 1 and 5. The search space will be between 1 and 5. Do you agree? Do you agree? I'm using the MacBook Max on, like 14-inch Pro, the new one, the 2021 model. Is this clear? So now I'll search over here. So you can keep on searching. So did you understand how to apply binary search? Has everyone understood this? Can I get an ES? Can I get an ES? Whenever you see that there is a pattern, when I increase the hour, like I know whenever you see a pattern कि 6 पे आंसर आएगा तो 7 पे भी आएगा, 8 पे भी आएगा, तो बाइनरी सर्च लग जाता है. ठीक है. And the trick is whenever there is a question as minimum or maximum, you tend to apply binary search. You tend to apply binary search. Make sense, everyone? Everyone? Mukul, I don't know whether the videos will stay or not. I don't have any rights on the videos, so I am not sure what will happen. इसको रिकर्शन से कैसे कर सकते हैं? माथा लगा के कर लो. जबरदस्ती रिकर्शन डालना है. लिख दो बाइनरी सर्च को रिकर्शन में. Now let me, I'll take the edge cases. Edge cases क्या है? The minimum bananas that I can eat is 1. Like it's very sure that I can eat 1 bananas. By the way, is it mentioned कि hours का कुछ scene है? Okay, it's clearly states that pile's length will be lesser than hours, so there will be always be a possible answer. High is equal to maxi, and I can say the initial answer is the highest bananas possible. I can say while low less than equal to high, I can say int made equal to low plus high by 1. Now if I can write a check condition where I say, can you please check if given this made, this piles and this hours, is this possible? If this is possible, this can be a possible answer. Let's look for a small answer, or else let's look for a large answer. And at the end of the day, I can return answer. So I can say int check vector int reference, always reference, otherwise time ज़्यादा लेगा. Okay, sorry, int h and int per hour. This per hour bananas. Now what you can do is int count equal to 0 for auto of it. Always reference लेना, otherwise copy बन जाता है. So I can say count is equal to, hey, seal चलता है क्या? I am not sure if seal works. Does seal works? Can anyone confirm? Can anyone confirm if seal works? मैं तो seal चलाता हूँ तो कभी नहीं चलता है. तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, मैं ये लिखता हूँ और फिर मैं बोलता हूँ if it, मम्मी नहीं जा, if there is something like this, I just increase it by 1. So this is how I moderately write seal by myself, and I can return if the number of hours, count hours is lesser than the h, it's a true, otherwise it's a false. So yeah, that's how it will run, and should be fine. Should be fine. Hi Ram. Hi Ram. ना दैट्स डबल, हाँ डबल यूज करना पड़ता है, हाँ डबल यूज करना, मैं तो मॉड यूज कर देता हूँ इसीलिए। दैट्स व्हाट आई डू इज आई ऑलवेज यूज मॉड, दैट्स माय वे ऑफ डूइंग। क्या हो गया इसको, एक सेकंड रुको। मैक्सी आंसर 2 पे क्यों आ गया आंसर? पंगे कर दिया गया मैंने, 8 दिया है, 3678 दिया, आउटपुट 2। 90 सेकेंड्स ओवर, हाँ 90 सेकेंड्स ओवर, ठीक है कोई बात नहीं, सह लेंगे। दिस इज डिवाइडेड बाई 2 ओनली। सिक्स थ्री, थ्री पे टू कैसे हो गया? 3/3, 1 2 3 7 3, काउंट लेसर देन। हाँ 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 हाँ, ला ला ला, देख रहे हो क्या गलती किया बच्चा ऐसा, बच्चे कहीं के। काउंट प्लस इक्वल टू, थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू प्रत्युष। अरे नहीं, इट्स रॉन्ग, इट्स राइट। टूला, अरे सही होगा ये, सही है। So basically what I'm saying is if there is 7, 7/3 will be 2 hours, right? So over here 2 will be added, and I'm saying if 7 modulo 3 कुछ और बचता है तो और एक आवर ऐड कर लो सील के लिए, this was seal, if there is 7 as it and divided by 3 for this, got it? Have I understood this? Has everyone understood this? Has everyone understood this? सबको समझ में आ गया? बढ़िया बढ़िया, बहुत सिक्सी बहुत सिक्सी। Cool. So the complexity will be logarithmic of binary search into the check function is taking a big of n. So n log n, right? N log n. This question is very very important. These kind of questions will come up in interviews. Okay. So that's pretty much it for the cocoa in eating bananas. Did you submit, guys? Did you submit this? I submitted this. काफी सिंपल था, ऐसे पूरा सीधा खोल लो, हो जाएगा इजीली। ग्रीडी और बाइनरी सर्च में डिफरेंस कैसे करते हैं? ग्रीडी आप कैसे लगाओगे इधर? आपको पता ही नहीं है ना क्या नंबर लेना है, तो दिक्कत हो जाएगा ना। तो आपको जब पता है कि अच्छा मेरे को पता नहीं है क्या नंबर लेना है, मतलब मुझे ट्राई करना होगा, तो उस केसेस में बाइनरी सर्च लगाने की कोशिश करते हो, ठीक है? Cool. So understood this. Let's do the next one. There's a jump game, there's a string to integer fi. So let's read this question. It's a shit question. फेनविक्ट्री का ये बीटेक रेपो यार, फेनविक्ट्री मेरे टेकी फॉरवर्ड के चैनल पे एक बार देख ले यार, उधर टेकी फॉरवर्ड। y is low equal to 1. What's the minimal hour? What's the minimum number of bananas you can eat per hour? That's 1. You can't eat 0 bananas per hour, then you'll never be able to finish it, right, Swastik? If you eat 0 bananas per hour, how will you finish all the bananas? The minimum that you can use is definitely something as 0 bananas, right? That's why. Make sense? Make sense, Swastik? Does that make sense? इसको रहने दे, इसको नहीं करे, इसको नहीं करे क्या? मैं किटकैट लेके आता हूँ, तुम लोग बैठो। I'll bring some खाना, उनको भूख लग गया बहुत तेज। I don't like this question, घटिया question है। I'll eat this. Skip. जम गिम करो, डिसलाइक ज्यादा है। डिसलाइक देख रहे हो क्वेश्चन में, अपने भी कर देते चलो। क्या देखो इसमें, skip. Okay, let's skip. Saying is a skip. Let's skip. Let's go to jump info. Grammarly is important when you write emails. You can use this extension. It's a wonderful extension. Like if you don't use this, it's a wonderful extension. Grammarly Chrome extension. Try to use this extension. It's a very good extension. Grammarly के extension जो आता है ना, it's a very good extension. Try to use it. If you're writing emails वगैरह, this extension helps. Like if I write wrong English, this extension tells me कि it's a wrong English. It's very important that you use these kind of things. ठीक है? It's a good question actually. Let's jump hard. भाई आधी मुझे दे दो किटकैट। हाँ ले लो, पूरा ले लो ना, आ जाओ घर, आ जाओ, पूरा ले लो। पेड है क्या भैया? नहीं, it's free. The paid version is there, but you can use the free Grammarly extension. It's an OP extension. I'll make a video on the Notion app as well. Probably next Sunday बनाऊंगा. It's again a wonderful app. बहुत अच्छा ऐप है, मैं वो भी स्टार्ट किया यूज करना। You can also use that in order to have your life very styled. वो भी मैं बोलूंगा नेक्स्ट प्राइवेट चैनल पे आएगा, नेक्स्ट संडे आएगा मोस्टली। एड्रेस भेज दो, आ जाओ एड्रेस। come to Baguyati and give me an Instagram text. I'll pick you up. नेक्स्ट सेशन साथ कर लेंगे। कल एक आस्क मी एनीथिंग है, शाम को 7 बजे कर दूंगा। भाई आपकी एज क्या है? That's 24. एड्रेस दे दो, किट कार्ड भेज देता हूँ। I live in Kolkata. Let's Code you as a fresher cannot negotiate with anyone. अभी मैं खरीदा जाता हूँ, अब विश्वकर्मा पूजा होता ना, so I go to Kharda a lot of times to buy kites. I stay at Ruby. Tip for Infosys InfyTQ. भगवान भरोसे। ओ अमन भी अभी भी मुझे तो लग रहा है शादी वादी हो जाएगा तब भी वो 22 का ही रहेगा। Aman Dattarwal is 1 year junior to me. Like he might have graduated 1 year prior to me, but Aman Dattarwal, I think Lab Babbar also. They're 1 year like age में 1 year छोटे हैं मेरे से। Basically, I started late and I also took a drop. So since I took a drop, otherwise I'd have also graduated in 2019. So वो लोग भी 19 में graduate किया. I also would have graduated in 19, and prior to that I started studying late. So eventually I would have graduated in 2018. So that's why I said कि they are like in age also they are 1 year lesser to me. In one of the sessions I called Aman Dhattarwa and they're like भैया बोलो तुमसे बड़े. बोला क्या भैया क्यों बोलो है, मेरे से 1 साल छोटा है वो. बेहाला, हाँ बेहाला आया हूँ, अभी भी आऊँगा शायद कुछ दिन में. Read the question. I'll give you some minutes to read the question and then we'll do this. Okay. Give me US the moment you understand the question. US. Okay. मुझे पता नहीं backtracking. I think I will do this with BFS. So the prerequisite is BFS. So if you don't know BFS, and there is no need to do this. And let's see the question. So basically states, given an array of integers. By the way, make sure you do jump game 1, jump game 2, jump game 3 because it's a wonderful question. All of those questions are बहुत बहुत sexy questions है, सारे कर लेना. So given an array of integers array, you're initially positioned at the first index of the array. Okay. In one step, you can jump from index I. Where can you jump? Let's read this. You can jump to I plus 1. You can jump to I minus 1. And you can jump to J. What is J? J is you can jump to any index which has the same value as the same array of I. Okay. And it can't be the same index itself. So written the minimum number of steps to reach the last index of the array. Will we always reach the last index of the array? If I ask you this question, will you always reach the last index of the array? The answer to that is yeah, Shriver. We are definitely going to reach the last index of the array. Why? Because even if we move I plus 1 always, even if we move I plus 1 always, we will end up reaching the last, right? Because there is something as I plus 1. There is something as an I plus 1. So we are definitely going to reach the last index. But the question is, can we do something better and reach the last index of the array in much minimal number of steps? Because if I take one step, then the answer will be n minus 1 steps. But can I do something better than n minus 1 steps? Can I do something better than n minus 1 steps? Is the question. Now that's where something like BFS comes in. Now, a lot of times people will be like, what is BFS? BFS means we have to use graphs. But no, it's generally not graphs. Now tell me one thing, like on a very plain note, I'll just draw some boxes just to give you the thinking process, just to give you the thought process. These are the indexes. Okay, these are the indexes. ठीक है. Assume करो तुम start यहाँ से किए थे, कैसे भी jump from कियो एंड तुम इधर पहुंच गए हो, लेट्स से 2 स्टेप पे. ठीक है, 2 स्टेप पे पहुंच गए, 2 steps. If in future you again come back to the same index in 4 steps, will you consider that step 4? Will you consider that step 4? Will you consider that step 4 is the question, because it does not make sense. Because once you have reached that particular index with 2 steps, it's better you continue with 2 steps, because नेक्स्ट बार जब 4 स्टेप से पहुंचोगे कोई सेंस ही नहीं बनेगा, क्योंकि आगे फिर बढ़ेंगे तो 5 लेगा, 6 लेगा, ज्यादा ही लेगा स्टेप्स. एक बार 2 में पहुंच चुका हूं तो नेक्स्ट के कभी भी पहुंचूंगा तो उसको कंसिडर नहीं किया जाएगा. डज दैट मेक सेंस? जस्ट टू स्टार्ट ऑफ विथ, does that make sense to start off with? If you're reaching a guy on the first set of like 2 steps, you will not move. Like, to give an example, let me just take an example. Like over here there is something like 100. Okay, what are the possible ways? Like, if I just ask you from 100, what can you do? Like, what are the possible ways that you can do? You can be like, Striver, I can go to minus 23. I'm like, yeah, that's correct. You can go to minus 23. That will take you 1 step. Or you'll be like, I can go to this directly 100, right? And I will also take 1 step. Make sense? Does that make sense? Like, you can either go here or you can either go here, right? So try out all paths, but make sure you try out step by step. So this is on 1 step where you can reach. This is on 1 step where you can reach. Now tell me, from minus 23, where can you go? Remember, this 100 you have reached in 0 step. This 100 you have reached in 0 step. From minus 23, where can you go? From like, next is minus 23. So let's come to minus 23. From minus 23, where can you go? You have, I think, 2 options. Either this minus 23 or this 100. Now I ask you a very simple question. Will you go back to 100? Because if you again go back to 100, again from 100 you will be like, again go to this 100, again go to this minus 23. Will you again go back to 100? Because if you again go back to this 100, will that make sense? I'll tell Ansh. Let's explain. Will you again go back to this minus 100? From minus 23, will you again go back to 100 is my question on the chat. On the chart, will it make sense? अरे जहां से आया वहां जाके क्या करेगा अपन? फिर तो घूम के फिर के आ जाएगा. जिस रास्ते से आ चुका हूं, क्या उस रास्ते पे वापस जाऊंगा? नहीं. इसी को BFS कहते हैं. I will not go to 100 anymore. I'll not go to 100 anymore because I know I have reached 100. I've started. यार एक जगह से, एक रास्ता से शुरू किया था, अब वापस उस रास्ते में घूम के जाने का कोई मतलब नहीं है. I will not go there. So this minus 23 says I can go to this minus 23 because it's similar and I'll take 2 steps. Do I have minus 23? No, I don't have. I don't have any minus 23, so I'll not go there. Perfect. Next, I have 101. So on this 100, where can you go? Can you tell me where can you go, guys? Can you tell me where can you go, guys? Where can you go from 100? From 100, you will be like, I can go to 404. Which will take me 2 steps. I can go to 23, which will again take me 2 steps. Understood? So I have gone to 404 now. And I have also gone to 23. And remember, it took me 2 steps. It took me 2 steps, right? Let's go to the next. From minus 23, where I am over here, where can I go? Where can I go is my question. Where can I go is my question. Now, from minus 23, you can go 404 or you can go minus 23. Either this or this. Will you again go back to minus 23? यार, ये देखो, ये minus 23 था, इधर से इधर आया, फिर इधर से इधर जाएगा? नहीं. तो minus 23 will not go to back. Will not go to back. Will minus 23 go to 104 is my question. Will minus 23 go to 404 is my question. Because if it goes to 404, it will end up taking 3 steps. It will end up taking 3 steps. It will end up taking 3 steps. क्या जाएगा ये? क्योंकि 3 स्टेप ले लेगा ना. और मैं ऑलरेडी उस जगह पे 2 स्टेप पे पहुंच चुका हूं. तो क्या ज्यादा स्टेप चढ़ के पहुंचना सेंसिबल है? क्या ज्यादा स्टेप चढ़ के पहुंचना सेंसिबल है? नहीं है बाबा. क्या जरूरत है जाने का? क्या जरूरत है जाने का? So I will say, Striver, no need to go to this. So from minus 23, I say I can't take any further steps. I can't take any further steps because from minus 23, I could have gone back to where it came from, or I could have gone to a 404, which I've already reached in fewer steps. यार एक रास्ते पे, एक जगह पे जब कम स्टेप पे पहुंच चुका हूं तो ज्यादा स्टेप क्यों इन्वेस्ट करूंगा, नहीं करूंगा. परफेक्ट. तो minus 23 से और आगे जा नहीं सकते. I cannot go. Fine, I'm fine. So I have 404. Now, where can 404 go? It can either go to minus 23, but that has already been visited in lesser steps, so there's no need to go. Or it can go to 100, but यार 100 तो already जा चुका हूं, तो वहां भी नहीं जाऊंगा. But 404 can also go to the last, which is 404 in the last index, which is different, and that will take me 3 steps. So can I say 0 step, 1 step, 2 step, 3 step? Can I say whenever I reach 404, whenever I reach 404 for the first time, that will always be the minimum number of steps? क्योंकि मैं स्टेप सीढ़ी की तरह जा रहा हूं, मैं सीढ़ी की तरह जा रहा हूं. आई एम गोइंग द 0th सीढ़ी, फर्स्ट सीढ़ी, सेकंड सीढ़ी, थर्ड सीढ़ी. तो इसके बाद जब भी ये वाला इंडेक्स आएगा उसके स्टेप ज्यादा ही होंगे. तो कभी भी मैं 404 पे पहुंच गया, कैन आई से दैट्स ऑलवेज the first time I'll reach it. That's always the first time I'll reach it. Can I say this? Did you understand? Does everyone understand this? Does everyone understand this? Does everyone understand this? Can I get a US? So what is this? This is breadth first search. This is a breadth first search. What you will do is you will start off with a queue data structure. And in that queue data structure, you will initially push 100, 0. Okay, that's the starting point. Then you will take 100 out, and for 100, wherever it can go, you will take those guys like 23, 1, 100 and 1, and you'll put those guys. Just make sure you put indexes. Make sure you put indexes instead of numbers. And again, take these guys, take the next guy. That's what you call as BFS. That's what you call as BFS. That's what we call as BFS. Make sense, everyone? Why will you use priority queue? Because BFS will make sure ना ये 0 वाला स्टेप पहले आएगा, फिर 1 आएगा, फिर 1 आएगा, फिर 2 आएगा, फिर 2 आएगा, फिर 3 आएगा, फिर 3 आएगा. क्योंकि जब तुम 23 का 1 निकालोगे तो ये सेकंड वाला आएगा. जब 100 का 1 निकालोगे तो ये सेकंड वाला आएगा. फिर जब सेकंड निकालोगे तो 3 वाला आएगा. जब ये सेकंड निकालोगे 3 वाला आएगा. तो BFS will make sure the steps are in the increasing order. The steps are in the increasing order. The steps will always be in the increasing order. So has everyone समझ में आ गया? Steps will always be in the increasing order. So there is no need of priority queue because queue will automatically make sure the steps are in increasing order. Okay. So I think we should code this. So what did I say? I'll say I will require a queue. That's for sure. And I can say int experience. Keep solving these kind of problems generally are solvable by BFS. So I'll say I'll keep a pair of int and int. And you can also keep a vector of int of visited where you'll say that these guys are visited. So make sure in the queue initially you pass the 0th index with 0 steps. So 0th index with 0 steps. 0th index, the start point with 0 steps. So 0th index with 0 steps. Over here I can say visit of 0th index is done. Perfect. Visit of 0th index is done. Now there was a question which stated that if there is something like 23, it can go to all 23s. If there is something like 100, it can goes to all 100. Instead of linearly finding, can I store something like this? 100 is available at index 0. 100 is available at index 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Sorry, index 4. Can I store a map which tells me where 100 is available? Where 100 is available. Can I store a map where it says where minus 23 is available so that I can directly jump to them? So that I can directly jump to them on every step. Can I do this? Guys, can I do this? Come on, guys. Can I do this? I can definitely do this, right? So what I will say is, okay, I'll keep a map. I'll keep a map which says me where are these numbers located. So map of an integer and a vector int. I'll be like, okay, let's go across it of array, and I'll say mpp of array. Okay, I'll have to actually run a for loop rather to store the indexes. I can say map of array of I. Can you do a pushback of I? So what I've done is I've stored all where 100 is reachable. Now I need to make sure I'll go on till I don't empty it. I go on till I don't empty it. No matter what happens, I'll just keep on going. I can say the current index will be q dot front dot first. That's for sure. I can say the steps will be q dot front dot second, and I can do a q dot pop. So that's what. Now I have the index, right? I have the index. Where can the index go? The index can go to -1. The index can go to +1. Correct? So if index -1 is greater than equal to 0, it's very important. Like there should be something like greater than equal to 0, and it's not visited as well. And it's not visited as well. So if index -1 is greater than equal to 0, and if it's not visited, I will say array bhai q, oh bhai q, oh bhai q, तो एक काम कर, index -1 ले, चल, and the steps will be +1 because I just took one step, and I'll say visit of index -1 to be visited. Same thing if index +1 is lesser than n, and visited, वैसे दिख रहा है ना, ज्यादा छोटा तो नहीं लिख रहा हूं ना, and visited of index +1 is equal to 0. ठीक है? So I'll be like q dot push. ओ भाई index +1 डाल, steps 1 ज्यादा लेगा तो चल डाल दे. अब बोलूंगा ठीक है, डाल दिया. Visited of index +1 equal to 1. Done. So back, front. What's the next thing? The step was to visit. What's the third step? Where can we visit? To all the guys where it's equal to j, array of j, same element. And where has that been stored? If you see, we have already stored that. So why don't I just make sure key, let's also go to all the places. Yes, let's also go to all the places of mpp of I, the array of index, because that's the number. And I'll be like, okay, if it is not visited yet, I'll be like, okay, if it's not visited, I will say q, why don't you go to that it with steps +1, and at the same time can you just make sure that it, okay, by the way, ये वेक्टर है, ये वेक्टर देगा और ये it उस वेक्टर पे घूमेगा, समझ में? ये एक वेक्टर दे देगा. बेसिकली क्या होगा कि अगर मैं ऐसे लूं वेक्टर सेम, and I'll write mpp where are the guys with the same indexes. So what will happen is same values, rather this same, we will iterate on this vector and all the indexes are there. Vector contains all indexes that have the same value as array of I. Okay, so we will go across it and we will say visit of it is still visited, right? And can I say, since I'm entering everything, if at any moment I reach index equal to n-1, I can say I can return the number of steps directly from here. And if at the end of the day you don't get it, like this case will never come when the while loop will be over. Like still you have to write a return because the function has the return parameter. So if you don't write it, there will be a problem. If you run this, you will actually get probably TLE. Like यहाँ पे चल जाएगा mostly. If you see this will run over here. This will run over here. But the moment I submit this, you will see this getting as a TLE. देखते हैं. चलो TLE देगा ये, ठीक है? देखना TLE देगा. मतलब क्यों TLE देगा? देखो TLE दिया. Why TLE? There's a reason. Now tell me one thing. If like logically, tell me one thing. अगर ये वाला 100 इस 100 पे एक बार आ चुका है, तो क्या इस 100 को इस like अगर और भी 100 होता, अगर और भी 100 होता, लेट्स से और भी 100 होता है, let's imagine there would have been different hundreds. So this 100 would have gone to this 100 as well. This 100 would have gone to this 100 as well. Do you agree? Right? Do you agree that there would have been a lot of other hundreds as well? Right? So in Q, you would have also inserted this 100. You would have also inserted this 100. You would have also inserted this 100. All the hundreds would have been inserted into the queue. I'll be like, yeah, all hundreds would have been inserted into the queue. So if all the hundreds would have been inserted into the queue, फिर जब तुम्हारा ये इंडेक्स निकलता 100 से, मतलब ये वाला 100 निकलता, फिर तुम यहां से इसके लिए चेक करते, फिर इसके लिए करते, इसके लिए, फिर जब ये 100 निकलता, इसके लिए ये चेक करते, ये चेक करते, ये चेक करते, फिर जब ये 100 निकलता, फिर ये चेक करते, फिर ये चेक करते, फिर ये चेक करते. या दे वुड हैव कम नॉट विजिटेड, बट इज देयर अ नीड, of checking for again those same hundreds? Because once the hundreds have been moved to similar hundreds, they will never move back to this. So is there a need of checking for the same hundreds? Can you tell me? Is there a need for checking for the same hundreds? Because the next time this 100 comes up in the queue, it will again check for the same hundreds. No, you marked as visited. No, I understand you marked as visited. But this loop will run, na? This loop will still run, na? Yeah, it will not insert anyone. We understand that. Listen. It will not insert anyone. We understand that because of visited. But this loop will be running, na? But this loop will run for 300s always. But this loop will always run for 300s. Do you agree? It will not visit anyone. Like, it will not insert anyone into the queue. I agree. Because they are visited. But will the for loop run? Yes, it will. It will run, right? So what I can say is, okay, once I have used the same, I can say, okay, MPP array of index, can you just erase yourself? The vector? अरे विजिटेड array से क्या हो गया, तुम्हें समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. देखो, तुमने ये 100 लिया था, ठीक है, इस 100 के लिए तुमने लेट्स से 4 इंडेक्स रखे, ठीक है, 4 इंडेक्स रखे, तो 4 बार लूप चला. फिर नेक्स्ट बार जब क्यू पे फिर 100 आएगा, फिर 4 बार लूप चलेगा, बट कोई पुश नहीं होगा. नेक्स्ट बार 100 आएगा, फिर 4 बार लूप चलेगा, बट कोई पुश नहीं होगा. तो मैं क्या किया, मैंने एक बार जब इन सारों को ले चुका हूं, तो मुझे पता है कि नेक्स्ट बार ये वापस आएगा नहीं, तो इसको हटा देते हैं ना. तो हटा दिया मैंने. Understood what I did? That's what I did. Now if you just run it and submit. If I just run it and submit, again no matching member function call to. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me do this, and now let me do the same. Oh, clear होता है. Vector was clear. Sorry. Vector was clear. Sorry. Vector would have been clear. Okay, so what I did was I took my reference, so it's already pointing to the address, and I cleared the same address. I just cleared it. Boom, address. Works fine. Remember, I took it by reference over here. So it is pointing to the address. So I cleared the address. Over here. So did everyone understand this? Did everyone understand this? Generally, I will recommend you to use reference, because if you don't use reference, what happens is, if you're not using reference, क्या होता है कि देखो एक कॉपी बनता है सेम का, तो ये कॉपी फिर एक वेक्टर का स्पेस लेता है, तो ज्यादा टाइम यहाँ पे बन जाता है. इफ यू यूज रेफरेंस तो टाइम बहुत सेव होता है. क्या देखोगे, ये देखो मैं तुमको दिखाता हूँ यहाँ पे. मतलब मैं इस पे ऐसे बिलीव नहीं करता हूँ रन टाइम पे, बट दिस इज व्हाट हैपेंस, बिकॉज इफ यू डोंट राइट रेफरेंस, व्हाट हैपेंस इज अ न्यू वेक्टर इज क्रिएटेड. It takes another space. So if you just create by reference, it uses the same vector in the map. So you're not creating another stuff. Okay? The time complexity will be big O of n, because at max you'll visit n states. It will be big of n, because at max you'll visit n states, n plus n rather, because you're running a for loop. N plus n, not n into n. Yes, yes, yes. If you use and, then a copy is not created. It saves a lot of time. Saves a lot of time. Has everyone understood this? By testing palindrome subsequences, पढ़ा देंगे. Ah. Bit manipulation में पढ़ा चुका हूँ. There are a couple of videos on CodeBeyond which you can watch for bit manipulation. There are a couple of videos on CodeBeyond for bit manipulation. You can watch it. I've taken 2 live classes on. ड्राई रन खुद कर लो यार. ड्राई रन क्या कराना है? पूरा ट्री बना के समझा दिया था. मैं क्या ड्राई रन कराना है? क्या बच्चा वाला क्वेश्चन था. If you why DFS not used? So basically, if you use DFS, you will have to go across all the paths, and if you're going across all the paths, then there will be a problem, right? You have to go across every path because it's depth. So सारे depth में जो minimal आएगा वो आंसर होगा. BFS step 0, step 1, step 2, step 3 करके जाता है. तो जैसे ही फर्स्ट टाइम उसको मिलता है तो वो श्योर रहता है कि वो मिनिमल ही है. That's why not DFS, because if you would have used DFS first time depth यहाँ मिला, next time यहाँ मिलेगा, next time शायद ऊपर मिले, तो तुमको सारे पाथ एक्सप्लोर करना पड़ेगा. सारे पाथ का मिनिमल आंसर होगा. You will explore all the paths which will be exponential in time complexity. Alright. The priority queue will use login. You will get TLE. Priority queue, no need to use priority queue because the steps are increasing breadth-wise, right? The steps are increasing breadth-wise, so no need to use priority queue. LIS with login approach. TF वाला नहीं समझ में आया. पता नहीं, वो तो सबको समझ में आया था. वैसे भी वो मैं यार जब तब बनाया था जब मैं YouTube स्टार्ट किया था, तो पता नहीं. I have to see. Is there any other approach to the question? There might be a DP approach. Yeah, there will be a DP approach. The DP approach will be DFS and DFS होगा. It will be DFS. The DP approach will be DFS. Where you'll memorize the index. You'll memorize the index with the number of steps taken. DP approach DFS होगा with memorization at steps. If you see the DP approach, it should be memorization. The BFS 21. Why DFS? DFS. ये steps भी memorize करना होगा. हाँ लिटरली यार नहीं काम किया हो, क्योंकि आप श्योर नहीं हो ना इंडेक्स कहाँ से आया है, कहाँ जाएगा, इसीलिए. क्योंकि डीपी अगर आप लगाते हो तो आपको स्टेप्स भी मेमोराइज करना पड़ेगा. Not sure if someone has done this with DP. Let's see if someone has done this with DP. Is it written? I don't know. रिकर्शन तो काम करेगा. As I said, this is the reason why it will not work, because तुम शायद कोई और पाथ से आए हो एंड बेसिकली आप डीपी तब नहीं लगा सकते हैं. नहीं, मैं बताता हूँ डीपी क्यों नहीं लगता है. बेसिकली डीपी आप कब लगाते हो? देखो, आप क्वेश्चंस पढ़े होगे जहाँ पे आपने 1D अरे ऐसे है, ठीक है. आप क्या करते हो, आपने ये वाला पोर्शन सॉल्व कर लिया एंड फिर आप यहाँ से बोलते हो कि यहाँ तक का भाई सॉल्व करके दे. दैट्स व्हाट बेसिकली डीपी रिजेंबल्स, राइट. एंड फिर आप कभी फ्यूचर में आए एंड फिर आपको यहाँ पहुंचे हो एंड आपको सिर्फ इतने का आंसर चाहिए तो मिल जाता है, राइट. कैन आई से दिस इज व्हाट डीपी इज. This is what DP generally you do. Basically, you probably jump 1 step, 2 step, and probably 1 step to reach here. Probably 2 step to reach here. And you know, this will have a particular answer. This will have a particular number of steps. That's what DP is, right? This would have stored this answer. So when you again come back, you reuse that. Is that DP? Is that what we generically call DP? Do you agree? Is that what we generically call DP? that we have taken one step, two step. Probably you would have taken two step and two step. So that's what we call DP, right? Because this answer would have been stored here. So when you again come back, you reuse this answer. But why DP can't be used? Because over here the problem is you might have gone like this, right? Over here, why can't you use DP? Because see, what would have happened was probably someone would have gone like this and someone would have gone like this, right? So the answer stored here is not for this. It's for like you're not sure कहाँ का आंसर है वो शायद इधर का आंसर है, इधर का आंसर है, एंड शायद कोई और ऐसे और ऐसा है. तो ये जो आंसर देगा, ये जो आंसर रखा होगा इसमें इस इंडेक्स को कंसिडर नहीं किया होगा, बट ये वाला आंसर कुछ और होगा. समझ रहे हो? क्योंकि ये पोर्शन का थोड़ा पोर्शन विजिटेड है. दैट्स व्हाई यू कांट यूज डीपी. Understood why can't you use DP? Because remember, if beyond this anyone is already visited, you can't use DP. That's the common logic of not being able to use DP. Then you can use recursion will give the correct answer, but you cannot memorize because you might have visited here, might have visited here, then you would have come over here in this index, right? And now suddenly you're coming here. So how can you use this answer for this guy? Right? The state is not constant. Over here, the state was sure that none of these guys are visited. None of these guys are visited. So you're solving the entire state. You're solving the entire state. Over here, you're not solving the entire state because some are visited. So you're not solving an entire state. Got it? Why DP is not possible over here? Why DP is not possible? आया समझ में? आया कि नहीं? कैसा आया कि नहीं DP समझ में? क्यों नहीं DP होगा? Give me US. US if you've understood, why not DP? आ गया ना? बढ़िया 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 बढ़िया. मैप डॉट इरेज, अरे क्लियर होता है ना, वेक्टर में इरेज नहीं होता ना डूड. वेक्टर में इरेज नहीं होता ना, वेक्टर में इरेज नहीं होता, वेक्टर में क्लियर होता है, इसलिए मैप डॉट इरेज काम नहीं किया था. ट्राई ग्रेडी में क्या पढ़ना है? आई रेकमेंड ग्रेडी में ज्यादा कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं, ग्रेडी खुद से होता है. अगर आपको ग्रेडी सॉल्व करना है, आई रेकमेंड यू ऑलवेज टू सॉल्व दीज प्रॉब्लम्स लाइक जो 5-6 प्रॉब्लम, एक्टिविटी सिलेक्शन, क्वाइंस वाला, एक्टिविटी सिलेक्शन, जॉब सिलेक्शन वाला एक सवाल, 5 सवाल देख लो स्ट्राइवर्स एसडी शीट पे. लाइक आई थिंक आई हैव अ ग्रेडी सेक्शन एज वेल. Like if you just go here, there's a greedy section as well. Greedy का section का है. ये रहा greedy algorithm का ये section है. ये वाले सवाल कर लो, काफी रहता है, मतलब इससे बाहर कोई पूछता नहीं है greedy. Greedy कोई पूछता नहीं है. Greedy is basically intuitive. These questions if you do, you'll get an idea. You'll get an idea. By the way, for people asking कि कोड कहाँ चला गया, डिटेल सोल्यूशन कहाँ चला, इसको कभी क्लिक करके देखा करो. इसको क्लिक करोगे तो सब मिल जाएगा प्रॉपर. ये देखो C++ का कोड भी मिलेगा, जावा का कोड भी यहीं मिल जाएगा, सारा चीज़ यहीं मिल जाता है तुमको. एंड अगर एफिशिएंट पे भी जाओगे तो भी C++ है, जावा है, सारा कोड भी मिलेगा सबको, सब जगह लिखा है. एंड यहाँ पे जाके वीडियो भी देखना. ये बहुत बेकार लग रहा हूँ मैं, जाके सिर्फ ये क्लिक करो तो वीडियो भी चल जाएगा. एवरीवन वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल. आई क्या ही मैं गंदा दिखता था भाई पहले, भाई साहब. I used to look very bad. Anyways, so you can easily get this. The reason I changed the template was I wanted you to easily search. Like I don't want कि पूरा तुम scroll करते रहो. If you want to just practice, let's say graph, so you open up graph and you practice it. So this is the reason I made it like this, so that you can easily practice. Make sense? ये बेटर लग रहा है ना ऐसे, मतलब ऐसे प्रॉपर तुम जा सकते हो, जहां तुमको जो करना है, ट्राई करना है तो ट्राई कर लो. सारे सवाल दिए हुए, राइट? फिर आप बोलते हो कोई फोटो है नहीं. अरे अभी तो अच्छा लगता हूँ, एटलीस्ट लुक बेटर देन प्रीवियस, राइट? If you have any suggestions for SD sheet, I'll add one more section, DSU. I think BFS, मुझे BFS and DSU का एक section add करने का बहुत मन है. So I will generically add that section, the BFS and the DSU one. I'm thinking of adding that because over here I think I have a DFS, I have a BFS, but I don't have it in a good way. Like number of islands है, बट आई एम थिंकिंग ऑफ मेकिंग दीज क्वेश्चन लाइक BFS एंड DSU का एक सेक्शन, 3 क्वेश्चन का मन है मेरे को डालने का. That's what I am thinking. But yeah, by the way, if anyone wants to write articles, please feel free to write. कोई अगर आर्टिकल लिखना चाहता है वेबसाइट के लिए, like if you check it out, like DP वाले articles का भी, like the entire DP series is coming across and we have all the articles. So if we are someone looking out for writing articles, please feel free to reach out. एक प्रॉपर ऐसे अच्छे से लगा मन है तो लिखने का, ऐसे के लिए तुम करना है तो मत करना, मेरे पास उतने पैसे नहीं है, आई गेव वेरी लिमिटेड अमाउंट, बट ठीक है, यू जस्ट वांट टू डू इट फॉर लर्निंग पर्पस, यू कैन डेफिनेटली कम अक्रॉस एंड डू इट. ठीक है, इन दिस वे. ओके कूल. सो यू कैन इजीली राइट इट. इंटर्न क्या है, तुमको आर्टिकल लिखना है, यू कैन इजीली राइट इट. देयर इज दिस वंडरफुल यहाँ पे इंटर्न वाला ऑप्शन है, जाके पढ़ लेना. ठीक है. द टेक स्टैक इज it's WordPress CSS HTML bootstrap पे ही पूरा बना हुआ है. ठीक है, तो चलते हैं. कल शायद 7 बजे एक आस्क मी एनीथिंग करूँगा. 10:30 बजे शायद मैं अपने चैनल पे स्ट्रीम करूँ. एक कॉन्टेस्ट है कोड स्टूडियो का, शायद मैं करूँगा 10:30 बजे, नॉट श्योर, लेट्स सी. ठीक है, तो चलो आज के लिए इतना ही था. मिलते हैं कल शाम को 7 बजे. बाय 6:30 बजे भी कर सकता हूँ. मिलते हैं कल. ठीक है, बाय बाय.